It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 take, go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Congratulations, Joe. He drives the number 78 National Day of Prayer Chevrolet. This is his 10th career pole, his 4th one here at Talladega, his first top 10 start in 2:08. Joe, you did a great job out there. You burned off a great one. Congratulations. Tell us how you did it.
You're going to have to ask the crew guys how we did that. But that's the same car we had in Daytona, and we were really fast down there. They've been able to go back and work on it, and got to really thank Hendrick Motorsports for the engines. I think the engines are a big part of how you qualify here. In the past, we got a number of poles, both in Cup and quite a few of them in the Busch car, and you got to have good power, and the car's got to be slick and go through the air. So it's about the crew guys today. I mean, that team has worked hard. I think they work harder than any other team out there, only because we're a small organization that's trying to compete with the big guys. And being a single car team operating out of Denver, Colorado, this is a big day for this team.
Questions now for Joe. If you have a question, raise your hand. We've got a couple of wireless microphones available out in the audience. Who's got a question for Joe? Got one right over here. David.
Dwight Drum, racestake.com. Joe, do you go out and are you thinking about backing up your nickname, Front Row Joe, or do you just go out every race and is it just routine to you?
Well, it's basically routine. I mean, you have to try and go as fast as you can every time you go out. If you don't, in the situation we're in, not being locked in the top 35, you don't get to play, and that's a tough day. I haven't had very many of those throughout my career, and with a I call a new team with a COT. There's so many challenges that we have to overcome on a weekly basis, and it's about qualifying. I mean, you got to get qualified in, and I've never had so much stress. Last year we did it with when we had Certainty on board driving for Ginn Racing, and we only had to do it 5 times, but we were locked in the show after that. Driving the Furniture Row Chevy starting last year, we had 10 or 12 races we ran in, and it's just stressful every time you do it. And then now doing it this year, it's tough. I mean, it's really one of the toughest things I've ever had to do, and this team has been doing it ever since they started. So my hat's off to them for enduring this much.
Other questions for Joe? Anybody? Got one right here.
David Poole.
Joe, in that situation that you're in, that sort of netherworld that you're in, where you got to get in the race, but you got a car that might be fast enough under these circumstances to be on the pole. Is there ever any thought? I mean, I know they said Franchitti, when he locked in on the first lap, he just said, "All right, that's it, I'm quitting," and got in the race. But how does the competitor mentality of maybe I can get this thing on the pole, and the realist of I got to get this thing in the show? Is there a balance you have to strike there?
Yes and no. It depends what track you're at. Here at Talladega, I mean, you're just going to get the car going as fast as you can. The track is so smooth. It's awesome. You can run anywhere you want to run. The chances of spinning out here are pretty slim unless you have help or you have something catastrophic go wrong. But you gotta go as hard as you can. And yesterday, we did about 5 or 6 qualifying runs, and we basically had the same setup in that we raced with last year here, which we qualified well and end up racing well till we burn a rear end gear up. So we just doing the same thing we did last time, and the guys working on the car. I think they've made the car a little bit better since Daytona, and I think Hendrick Motorsports has found a little more power for us. So it's a pleasure to drive when they drive like this. It's just getting them to drive like this every week has been a challenge.
I'm also told that with his fourth career pole here at Talladega, that's tops for this particular racetrack among active drivers. So it's a good accomplishment.
Pretty cool. You know, I said on TV today that you don't get to set on the pole very often when you got the logo on the hood and the corner panels say National Day of Prayer. You know, it's a lot of people in society today don't want to talk about praying in schools or praying in workplace or doing all this stuff, and here we got the spotlight for it, and it means a lot to me, means a lot to my team, our car owner. Next Thursday is the National Day of Prayer, and I hope everybody in here and everybody who's reading and listening to all the things going on takes a moment and says a prayer. I mean, it's important for ourselves personally, and it's important for our nation and as a country in the world. I mean, it's very important. So it's pretty cool to be able to do that and have it on your hood.
Another question right here. Go ahead.
XM Satellite Radio. Two questions. The first is, what kind of strategy you think we're going to see tomorrow? And you can answer that first if you don't mind.
Strategy for tomorrow. I mean, when they drop the green flag, I'm going to go as hard as I can go. I mean, that's just part of it. I think we're going to be fast. We should be able to lead some laps. But with a COT, you never know. I mean, they gang up on you a little bit and put a move to you. And the goal is to finish the race. You know, number one, we need to finish the race. We need to gain some points in this race. And I think it's a race that we can have a very good finish out of. You know, the first pit stop, we have a couple adjustments that we're going to have to make just because of the way we qualified, which is no big deal. We did it last year, and we were able to come right back up through the field. So I'm looking forward to a good day. I mean, everybody's out there. They're going to go as hard as they can go. And, you know, Tony Stewart starting on the outside, it'll be interesting.
And the other question I wanted to ask is, what does, and I know about the National Day of Prayer, but what does getting a pole mean? I know it's not a win for your sponsor, Furniture Row. I mean, to have an overnight deal where your name is in all the papers of your sponsor, what does that do for your team or for the company that sponsors you?
Well, it's definitely very big. I think it's very big for Furniture Row as a company. It's very big for the National Day of Prayer. I think Barney Visser, he's got 3,000 people or 3,500 people that work for him nationwide, and it's big for business. I mean, it's good. I know out in Denver, Colorado, they've really been pumped up this year. Although we've had our trying moments, we definitely show promise of being a contender in some of these races, and that's important. It's good for his Furniture Row stores, so everybody needs to get out there and buy some mattresses and some furniture.
When I guess it was last fall when Michael Waltrip won the pole for this race, he said, he came in here and said, you know, where they all would talk about the qualifying subs, and he said, look, this car is going to race pretty good. This is not a complete, you know, some kind of voodoo setup that we're going to go straight to the back. Is it as different as maybe or less different than we think maybe it is? I mean, you said you're just going to make a couple adjustments. Is it not really all that much difference?
I'm telling you here, since they repaved this track and it's as smooth as it is, we don't have to do much. I mean, there's a couple things that we're going to have to do, but it's all small stuff. But again, you know, we're trying to get every thousandth of a second we can get in qualifying, and we have to. I mean, the position we're in, only locking in the top 35, we have to be in that position to take advantage of every possible thing we can. And but as far as racing, man, you see what we have right there. The adjustments we're going to do is not going to slow it down.